Coming up on Cardinals Insider, I sit down with Adam Wainwright. What's next on the horizon? Do you want to coach? You want to manage? You want to, what is it that Adam Wainwright wants?
No and no.
No and no.
No and no,
yeah.
except for down here in Jupiter, maybe.
Plus, Waino and Willson Contreras have a special stat in common.
First pitch. Willson did it first pitch too.
And later, Paul Goldschmidt is the latest Cards MVP first baseman. We look back at the lineage of that position. Those stories and more ahead on Cardinals Insider. Welcome to Cardinals Insider. I'm Ozzie Smith. Adam Wainwright is one of the most successful and likable Cardinals of all time. Waino and I sat down to talk about his career and his final season in the big leagues. Now, you seem like a leader, as a natural leader. You know, did you ever put any emphasis on the fact that you wanted to be a leader, or did that just kind of fall into place?
I think it just kind of naturally happens. When you force it, it's forced. It feels forced, and players don't respond as well, I don't think. And I had to earn that, you know. I had to earn that from being here and leading by example, learning from the greats that came before me, and then every now and then while they were still there, making sure that, you know, if I saw somebody not doing what they were supposed to do, you know, check them on it and remind them that this was. And I think that sort of like we saw it happen naturally, where they taught me really well. Yeah. And just kind of oozed out into the everyday life in the clubhouse.
To make you feel good, you know, I had a chance to play with Bob Forrest, and Bob Forrest, he was that type of guy too, you know, and it happened so naturally. Let's go back a little bit. What do you know now, at the end, that you wish you had known as a rookie?
As far as playing goes, I really wouldn't change a whole lot. Every moment in learning curve brought me to where I am now, and it was more rewarding, kind of learning in the time, you know, learning in those moments, and even sometimes their biggest failures taught me the most, you know. I wouldn't change a whole lot. I wish I could throw a fastball as hard as I used to be able to throw a fastball. But as far as learning and knowing stuff now, I feel like the people that I was around, they kind of kept me within the kind of on the line that I am now and trajectory that I'm now. I never stepped too far outside of that. I was always mindful of, you know, representing the Cardinals well.
How does it make you feel when they call you a throwback? How does that make you feel?
Well, what that makes me feel like is the guys I grew up watching, Smoltz and Glavine and Maddox and all the great pitchers of that era that were, their goal when they took the ball, the first pitch of the game, was to throw the last pitch of the game. Mm-hmm. They were gonna take their team as long as they could into the game, and they were pitchers, they weren't throwers. So I take that as a tremendous compliment. If I'm a throwback, I'm somebody who's pitching out there. I'm a pitch maker, and that's a great compliment to me.
You're well known for your charity work and stuff. Does it, as you wind down here now, does your charity stuff, does that change?
No, it won't change. I don't know what my role at Big League Impact and how that changes, because I feel like there needs to be a lot of leadership in the game as that's playing right now with Big League Impact. But from charity life, from my wife and I and our family, it's a part of life. It's a way of living, and it's a way of giving. We live to give. You know, honestly, we've been given a tremendous platform and a lot of resources to go out and help a lot of different people, and we love doing that. We always will.
Where do you go from here? What's next on the horizon? Do you want to coach? You want to manage? You want to what is it that Adam Wainwright wants?
No and no.
No and no.
No and no, yeah. Except for down here in Jupiter, maybe. I think I love to coach. I do. I love to teach the game of baseball, but I also would love to stay married and be a great dad. And I don't think the hours the coaches put in, it's just remarkable. It is amazing that it is a labor of love. These guys are at the field 10, 11 in the morning, and they're there till midnight every single day.
They're actually here longer than they were as players.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. If I was going to, I'd just keep playing if it was, you know,
right.
But I think for me, what I would love to do, I do want to call some games.
Okay.
I would love to stay in the game that way, calling some games. I have fun up in the booth. I love doing that. But not an everyday, every game, all week long type of thing.
On the road.
No, I've lived that life. I've got some music ahead of me.
Oh yeah. We didn't talk about that.
I've got some music ahead of me. I do.
Got some new tunes.
I've got an album coming out this year, mid-season.
Look at you.
I do.
Look at you.
We'll see. The fans will let me know how much music I have ahead of me, actually. But I think we're making some cool stuff, and it's going to be neat to see what goes on there. Other than that, I'm going to be coaching my kids and teaching my kids, and I'm basically a professional Uber driver with them in the off seasons and when I can during the season, taking them from place to place. I have 5 children, and they always have stuff on the opposite sides of the town from the other one at the same time. And so Jenny and I, we pass each other on the highway, going back and forth. But I love being that. My favorite title in the world is Dad, and I can't wait to be a professional husband and dad the rest of my life.
Well, thank you, Adam. Let me say this here from a personal standpoint. It's been great watching you do what you do. You've been a total professional. I just can't say enough about how much I've appreciated getting to know you through the years, and good luck this year.
You too, buddy.
I know it will be a good one, and we're all looking forward to it.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider, Waino and Willson Contreras are part of a unique club. Details after the break.
Here's a swing and a shot deep to left, and Adam Wainwright has just hit his first big league home run.
Adam Wainwright and Willson Contreras both homered on the first pitch of their big league careers. Roughly 20,000 people have played Major League Baseball, and only 31 have gone deep on the first pitch they saw.
Here's a swing and a shot deep to left, and Adam Wainwright has just hit his first big league home run.
First pitch.
First pitch.
Wilson did it first pitch too.
First pitch he saw.
High and deep to center field, and it is gone! Can you believe it?
I didn't know that Adam Wainwright hit a first pitch homer. Now that I know, I'm probably going to bring it up to him.
What a scene and what a moment for Willson Contreras homering in his first major league at bat.
I'm really emotional guy, and I know that I spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, and I always talk to my dad about debuting in the big leagues, getting a better life for them and helping my family. And when I got the call up, it was like I was shocked. The first at bat, I wasn't thinking too much. I was just told myself, enjoy the time, you deserve it, and just swing at the first pitch.
Holy mackerel! He really blasted that thing. The first pitch to him by the left-hander, and I mean, he knocked about 4 seats out of the left field bleachers.
I think that's a cool club. I mean, especially for a pitcher. Wilson's hit a lot of home runs in his life, and big, strong fella. But as a pitcher, that's real bragging rights. That's something I always remind every time any hitter takes their first at bat. Whatever the result is, it's not a home run. They got a hit, or if they got out, or whatever. So say they got a hit. My favorite thing to do is, hey, congrats on getting a hit your first at bat. That's not bad. You got a single. That's pretty cool. And then everybody around them goes, oh, here we go. And then I get to say, I hit a home run, but you being a single, that's pretty good.
Woo! Holy! He just walked up there and said, kaboom!
A little later, Goldie is in good company as a Cards first base MVP. More on that ahead.
All right, everyone. We need some Cardinal theme ticket ideas. We need them fast.
Whoa. Can we all just chill for a second?
Yeah, don't we already have the best theme tickets?
Like teacher's night?
And college night.
Racing night?
Racing night?
It's all on cardinals.com/theme.
But we're always looking to add even more exciting ideas to our theme tickets.
More exciting than Christmas in July? This whole meeting could have been a letter.
We've got you covered on TV, but if you like what we do, you might also enjoy the club's podcasts. The Chatters Box and the Cardinals Insider podcast deliver special guests and give you a window inside Cardinals baseball. Here's a look at what they've covered recently.
Hey everybody, I'm Kyle McClellan. Wanted to let you know that I am hosting the Cardinals podcast called The Chatter's Box. Make sure you check it out. We are interviewing current players, former players, broadcasters, all kinds of people here around the Cardinals organization. And the whole idea of it is to get to know each of these players, each of these individuals a little bit deeper. Get to know their story. Get to know them off the field. We know them so well on the field, but let's get to know them off the field. So please join me.
That's the name of the game. It's adapting. It's being able to, when the red light goes on, perform.
Yeah.
His slider, if you're right-handed, I mean, you're going to strike out or you're going to hit the ball bad because it's one of the best sliders I ever saw.
I asked if there's an opportunity to transition to the staff side, and my heart was already there. Even the last couple months that I was playing, my mind was always thinking about what does this look like on the other side of it.
Also, the Cardinals Insider podcast. We have all kinds of awesome content that we're putting out, diving deeper into stories with players, staff, media, all kinds of people around the team.
I'm known to be a little bit of a goofball, and
hadn't heard that.
What do you do when you're not playing baseball?
I play video games for sure. Mason and I, we haven't been doing it lately, but we usually hop on our PS5 when we get back to our apartment and play 2K of the basketball game.
Make sure you check it out on all podcast platforms and also the Cardinals YouTube channel.
On opening day, the Cardinals and Make-A-Wish worked together to give an Illinois teenager a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Take a look.
We all love the sights, sounds, and smells of opening day, and DeAndrew Sievers got the full experience. Drew, who was diagnosed with leukemia, had his wish to experience an opening day with the Cardinals granted, as Make-A-Wish Illinois and the St. Louis Cardinals teamed up for a day that he won't soon forget. It was a perfect day to watch batting practice, and it got even better as manager Ollie Marmol, former Cardinal Matt Holliday, and current players like Lars Nootbaar, Nolan Gorman, and Andre Palante all stopped by to say hi. On top of that, Drew got to meet the Clydesdales, see the Cardinal greats don their red jackets, and hold the World Series trophy of his choice.
I picked the 06 World Series trophy just because that's the year I was born. And then also because one of my biggest, my favorite player on the Cardinals of all time is probably Yachty. And he was able to contribute to that, and so it was cool to be able to hold it.
Keep fighting, Drew, and we hope to see you back at the ballpark soon. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Ben Holtmeyer.
And still to come, history is coming alive across Clark Street.
A space in the back where you can hold game-used bats and World Series rings. I mean, what museum do you get to come in and touch history?
Yeah, I want to put a ring on.
After the break, hear more about what's happening at the Cardinals Museum. The Cardinals Museum houses the largest collection of baseball artifacts outside of Cooperstown. Plus, the museum staff oversees tours of Busch Stadium too. Our Brett McMillan and Emily Stevens have more on what's happening on both sides of Clark Street.
Welcome into the Cardinals Museum here across Clark Street at Busch Stadium. Brett McMillan, Emily Stevens, Brittany Shelp. She runs our tours and museum operations. That's what we're going to go with, Brittany. I keep stumbling over your title before we started. But yeah, you are in charge of a lot of what goes on here in this space, but also what happens across the street with stadium tours. So let's start there. People can come and see Busch Stadium 12 months out of the year. What can they expect when they come down?
Absolutely. We love to show off our space across the street of Busch Stadium and give fans the opportunity to really see what's going on behind the scenes in some of the spaces that you have to have special tickets to get to, or maybe fans don't get to typically get to see it all. The dugout is obviously the top feature that we like to show off on that tour as much as we possibly can when the team tells us we're allowed in that space. But no matter when you come, our staff has historical knowledge about the stadium and the stadiums of the past that they're ready to share, answer questions, and those tour tickets all include a visit to the museum as well.
Let's specifically talk about the museum. So something that I think is really cool, and I'm sure fans do too, is every time they come in, they may be seeing something new.
Absolutely. It's for the protection of our artifacts, but also because we have such a large collection. We usually only have about 10% of our collection on display at any time. So there's so many things to swap out all of the time to keep those things from fading with the wear and the tear of the light, but also so you guys can see something new when fans come in to visit.
And it is second only to Cooperstown, which I just think is remarkable that no place has more historical objects related to baseball than right here, except for Cooperstown, New York.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of that, and we're pretty grateful to the people who have made that collection possible for us. Obviously, guys like Stan, who donated so much of his own personal collection, and the DeWitts, who have such a strong love for Cardinals history and showing it to the team. And the fans, of course, the biggest supporters of Cardinals history, they know that history and they want to come and learn more and just really dig in deep.
And if fans want to plan their visit today, you guys are open during the season and the off season.
Yeah, absolutely. We're open every day but Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Beyond that, come in and see us, plan your trip around the Cardinals Museum and a Busch Stadium tour visit.
I've also noticed just from walking around that you have a lot of interactive exhibits as well.
Yeah, so we try to make this as fun of an experience for baseball fans of all ages. And so we do have a space in the back where you can hold game-used bats and World Series rings. I mean, what museum do you get to come in and like touch history?
Yeah, I want to put a ring on.
A lot of really emotional moments with the Stan Musial bat especially, so you're getting to hold these really cool items. But then of course the interactive touch screens, and then the low-tech interactives like drawers to pull and tiles to turn. So all kinds of really fun things for everyone to, I think if you come in, everyone can find something they would enjoy doing here at the museum.
And you never know who might come through
Absolutely.
here. We've shot Ozzie for the television show in here when it was open. Mo and Bill DeWitt were standing right where you are for another project not that long ago. So there's some famous faces that pass on through. Cardinals.com/museum or Cardinals.com/tours if you want to learn more. Come on down, see Brittany and the whole gang here at the Cardinals Museum. For Brittany and Emily, I'm Brett. We'll talk to you next time.
When we return, I'm answering one of your questions. It's Ask Ozzie, and it's up next. It's time for this week's Ask Ozzie. Beverly in Paris, Illinois asks, did you ever get fined for doing your backflip? Well, Beverly, no, I never got fined. As a matter of fact, the backflip, when it started, didn't start out as something that they were reluctant to see. It started out as an idea that when I was with the Padres, the PR guy and a teammate thought it would be a good idea for me to do it going out to my position. And in doing that, they liked it so much they asked me to do it again the following season. It became a trademark, so there was never any question as to whether or not I would get fined. I think it was one of the things that people started to look forward to, and it became a part of opening day here as I traveled to St. Louis from San Diego. So I never got fined. There was only one time I hurt my shoulder in 1985 diving back into the bag, and they thought it would put too much pressure on my shoulder to try and do it the following year, which my son did it for me. Now, of course, being professionals that they are, in 1985 I had to hear from George Brett about the fact that they used that as an incentive to come out and beat us because they thought, here again, which one of the reasons that I was reluctant to do it, that I was trying to be a hot dog, which I was not trying to be. And of course, growing up in San Diego, the entertainment was the chicken, and I certainly did not want to compete against the chicken. Thanks for the questions, Beverly. If you want to submit a question, head on over to Cardinals.com/insider and click the Ask Ozzie tab. But for now, don't go anywhere. There's more Cardinals Insider after the break. Paul Goldschmidt has been a fixture at first base since coming over from Arizona before the 2019 season. And last year, he slugged his way to the National League MVP, joining a long list of Cards first basemen to win the award. Here's a look at all of them in this week's Redbird Reels.
Pujols out to left. left center field. It's at the wall, and it's number 40. He does it in style.
He's done it again. The man is ridiculous. Ridiculous. MVP.
This one, dead center, gone. He's done it again. Into left center field. Good night.
Pujols in the air after deep center field. At the track, at the wall. Goodbye. Oh! He knocked out the eye in Big Mac land. Goldschmidt hits it up to left, and this will do it. And he does it in grand style. A walk-off grand slam.
That's it for this episode. You can always catch us online at cardinals.com/insider or YouTube. And we'll see you right back here next week.